Human trafficking is not something I read in a book, watched on television, or researched. Human trafficking was my life for 18 months.
Over 150 years ago, slavery, we heard, was abolished. It is really shameful that even these days we're talking about human trafficking, which we call modern day slavery.
Child trafficking, it's an aspect of human trafficking that involves the recruitment, transportation, transfer, harbouring, or receipt of a person who is under the age of 18, a child, for the purpose of exploitation.
18 months to what I describe as torture in every sense of the word torture. Talk about being raped, sodomized, and when we talk about the abuse that one incurs while they're being trafficked, we're talking about physical and psychological abuse.
It is a worldwide criminal activity, and the government of Jamaica has had to put in place what we call a national task force against trafficking in persons to combat human trafficking, which is on our shores.
Generally, children have always been targeted. They are among the vulnerable groups. Last year, we saw that children were, the ones that were featured in the statistics. We had 8 identified victims.
It's easy for us as human beings to understand the physical abuse, but what I feel it's hard for the human brain to comprehend is the psychological abuse.
The Child Protection and Family Services Agency is under the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information. And as such, when it comes to child trafficking, we have a serious joint-up approach. So we have the teachers at the schools who deliver HFLE, the Health and Family Life Education Program. And within that, they do a specific area because we have a curriculum on trafficking in persons now.
Data suggests that children between the ages 13 to 15 are the ones who are targeted primarily. They are primarily girls who are sexually exploited. Our investigations usually generate from reports received from the National Children's Registry. These reports come from the ordinary Jamaican citizens who see something and suspect that there might be something going on. So they call in and they report to NCR what they have seen and what they believe they know. And this is passed on to us. We ensure that we look into these reports to determine if these are actual cases.
We are the premier child protection agency in Jamaica, deal with sexual abuse, neglect, and all things that have to do with vulnerable children. So our role comes from like a child psychosocial, welfare, and child caring, in addition to the prevention, where we deal with education, public information, and community mobilization.
Many victims are treated badly. They are physically abused. They may not be properly fed. And many of them will not be allowed to get medical services. So many times the physical appearance will tell a story.
I knew I wanted to give back. I knew I wanted to change the trajectory for someone else, right? And so I got involved in the work. Each survivor story is different. They're unique. So my experience may look a certain way and another individual's experience may look totally different.
If you suspect child trafficking, make contact with the police. Call 119, 811, 311, or you may contact the Anti-Trafficking in Persons Vice Squad here at CTOC at 876-967-1389. With all these departments sitting on the task force, it's a signal of a partnership that is geared at the achievement of the 3 Ps: prevention, protection, and prosecution of the perpetrators of this heinous crime.
Brought to you by the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information and the Child Protection and Family Services Agency, CPFSA.